What's up, guys? Mark here, back with the next playing card review. Today we are going to be going through a few different decks that I've gotten in the past week or two and just talking about some cards in general and stuff. So yeah, like and subscribe if you enjoy, and let's get into the video. Okay, so basically, yeah, I have a few decks that I've wanted to do videos on, and some of them I'm not sure about, so I'm just going to do a longer video, just sort of like a mail day video, but it's just decks I've gotten over the last few weeks here. So also to mention, if you guys see the other shelf there, got one on that side too, but I was running out of space, so added that one. Not sure how many it holds, probably about 20 or so, but yeah, adding on to that one now. So this is the first deck. So these two decks, we'll go through each of them here. I'm not going to do full reviews on either of these decks, but I do want to just show you guys some cool decks today, and then hopefully back to weekly videos. I've been kind of busy, but I love doing this, so don't worry, I'm not going anywhere if you like watching the videos. But yeah, anyway, so this deck, the place, if you guys have watched the channel for a while, and sorry for my voice, I have a cold right now. The place I always go in Naples, Tin City Magic, they're always super nice and cool. And this was the deck that the guy kept suggesting to me. It's called Run. Let's see who it's by. It says, after the score, the only thing to do, and then assuming means run. But yeah, I had never heard of this deck, and the guy, I was talking to him for quite a while. He was asking me about my channel and stuff. Oh wow, this is super cool. But I had never heard of this deck. I still don't know if the brand is Run or the name of the deck is Run. But very interesting tuck case here. Another reason I like having like these little bit bigger shelves, because the cassette holder, which it is awesome and like my favorite thing ever, it only holds like the exact size decks. So for decks like this and decks like the Tarot of Alexia that should be coming before too long, like decks like that aren't going to fit on there. So it's nice to have shelves in between. And yeah, I think it looks really good right now. This one's sort of out of view, but yeah, I like the background how it is right now. But yeah, super cool, just this big like black casing, and then a really cool tuck case too. Like my thought would be, if you're gonna have just like an all black box, I was just expecting like a not the coolest tuck case, but very pleasantly surprised by the tuck case here. We have a spade there as well. I keep forgetting to switch the hand. We have a $sign there, and it opens kind of sideways here. So it says on it, like I said, I'm not going to be doing a full review on this deck. I just wanted to, same thing. After the score, the only thing to do is run. It doesn't say run, but I'm assuming that's what it means. Learn a gambling routine. Says Murphy's Magic. Okay, I believe those are like the same people that sell, why can't I think of the name of it, the knock decks. I'm not 100% sure on that, but yeah, super cool. We have this like silver foiling here. Oh wow, and yeah, it definitely is a gaff deck, because we have an extra 3 clubs, and oh weird, that's super cool. I love when people do this. It's half 3 clubs, half ace of hearts, so very interesting there. 2 jokers. Murphy's Magic would have been easier to find out who the cards were by reading the jokers / ad cards there. Yeah, it is a little papery feeling, but super cool with that like silver foiling. We've got like, yeah, very cool details there. So we're just gonna do a quick rundown of this deck. But yeah, it's got the money symbol on the back, along with some different patterns and a spade and stuff. But yeah, this was the deck that the guy working there, shout out to him, I feel bad, I forget his name, but he just kept on suggesting to me. Really like the color palette of this deck though, as you can see there. Interesting color choice. We've got sort of like a bronze, bluish, and then orange. But yeah, very cool deck of cards. I liked the casing a lot. I was very pleasantly surprised by the tuck case. So yeah, super cool. And yeah, like I said, some of these will go into more detail on, some of them less. The cards do feel really nice though. Wow, very interesting court cards as well here. Look at that. But yeah, I've just got, like, at this point, like, so many decks I wanted to review. Like, one of the decks, my sister got me this super cool deck of cards, and that's going to be in this one. And I feel bad because I wanted to make it its own video, obviously, since she got me this super cool deck of cards. Really unique pips and indices, by the way, on this deck. But there's, like, so many decks from the Art of Play mystery decks that I want to review and stuff. So I just wanted to do a video of just, like, a few decks that I still really enjoyed. But like the one my sister got me, it's super cool, but it's like cool for a couple specific reasons. So like that one, you know, I don't know if it would make the best full-length video. And just like a couple decks like this one, like this is a really cool, unique, like Valentine's sort of vibe deck. But yeah, I just want to show off a few decks here just because there's so many decks of cards I want to review right now. Also, shout out to Daniel Schneider, I believe his name is, the person, which I'm going to be honest, I feel kind of bad because he watched my video. For context, he's the guy that owns Black Roses Casino, and I like said a few times, I was like I think I even put in the video, I was like, no shade to him, but like this seems a little similar to Fontaine, but I just love the aesthetic of the cards and everything, and told him it was super cool. I did back. I think I backed after like 3 minutes instead of 2, but he's still going to send me a free deck, if you guys remember that from the last video. But he had this whole Kickstarter thing, and I also subscribed to his Patreon, so I'm going to start every 2 months, I believe it is, getting decks from him from his Patreon, which will be super cool. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. He was the nicest guy. He was like, your video made my day. Even though I have given a Black Roses deck a 50 out of 50, that one, I gave it like a 43, which is still a really good score. But it's just one of those things where I was like, oh man, like if I knew like this was the nicest guy ever, like, and that shouldn't affect the cards, but I was like, I probably would have been a little nicer about it, even though I did give it a very high score. But either way, he's a super nice guy. If I remember, I'll try and put his Kickstarter link in the pinned comment. But yeah, you guys should definitely check him out. Super cool. This deck of cards, sticking with the theme, also got, just because I wanted to get another deck from Tin City Magic. Well, I was in Florida, as you can see, it's already opened. But it was sort of a Valentine's themed deck, and I have planned for this deck for Valentine's Day, which there's going to be drawing on it, so that's why I'm adding that in this review before it gets all messed up. So yeah, super cool deck. I really like just like the messy, like sort of borderless, but still with the border aesthetic to it. Super cool. It looks really cool fanned. Yeah, super sick. Pips, indices, everything is pretty standard except for the aces. The aces are so sick in this deck. I guess we do have a little bit of color differences on it there. But yeah, the Ace of Hearts in particular, look how cool that is. And I love how it's like a messy, like looks like a hand-drawn heart. Sort of gives like Calder playing cards vibes. But yeah, we've got a double back card here. I think I mentioned before, this is a Theory 11 deck. But yeah, I got this mainly for the purpose of Valentine's Day, which, as I'm recording this, is tomorrow. So I gotta get started on my project here after this video. But yeah, super cool. I just love like the messy heart idea. And even the spade is like an upside down heart. Very clever. So yeah, super cool deck of cards. I love the box. Very cool aesthetic. I don't know. I just like having decks of cards for like every different occasion. Like, as you guys know, I love Christmas. I have a bunch of Christmas decks of cards and stuff. And yeah, it's just, I don't know, fun to me to have decks of cards to use. Like, you know, if we're gonna play cards tomorrow, this is the deck we're gonna use. So yeah, stuff like that I think is really cool with having a bunch of playing cards, being able to have a lot of versatility with, you know, certain holidays and stuff like that. Like, I have Halloween decks and stuff. But anyway, yeah, pretty standard pips, indices. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to show you guys this deck before I mess it all up by doing something with it. But anyway, super cool. Worst fan of my life. But it is a really nice deck of cards, and the fan looks so dope. We'll give it a couple shuffles here. I have used this deck a tiny bit, but yeah, I really love the tuck case. I love the sort of like cursive look to it. I guess it is cursive. But yeah, the cursive drawings and stuff on it, and just like the handwritten, messy sort of vibe to it, I really like. So yeah, that's that deck. Next, we will get to the deck my sister got me for my birthday a couple weeks ago. So this deck is from Etsy, and it doesn't have a ton of branding, if any branding on it. So I'll put the name of the company up there, and if I remember as well, I'll put the link in the comments. But you guys remember, it has that, I don't know what you call it, but like when I was a kid, bookmarks used to have like this thing, and it's like so satisfying. It's like a plasticky, just you guys know I hate like really papery feeling stuff if you watched literally any video. So yeah, I love this, how it's like this nice plasticky deck. But yeah, it has sort of like a trippy like vibe, almost like holographic type vibe to it when you like look at it and like switch, like it's a bunch of like little like spheres like together and stuff. Super cool. The size for it is slightly different. I was right when I got this deck, I was like comparing it to the deck of cards I had on me, because I think being plastic, it's a little bit different. And it is supposed to be waterproof. I haven't tested that theory. We made jokes of me doing like a review in like a hot tub or something for this deck of cards, but I believe that's waterproof. I could test that theory on one of the jokers or something. But one thing about it being plastic is it's like crazy bendy. And I mentioned in my last video, actually, I said something about like, wow, this deck doesn't feel as good, but it could be just because I just used this deck that's like the most like springy. Like, look at this. And that sound is so satisfying. Probably take the jokers out of here before I start messing with it. But yeah, super cool deck of cards. Like I said, I'll put the name above. It's very, or a lot, not very easy, pretty easy. A lot easier to do a perfect shuffle with as well, being that it's plastic and not paper, so it doesn't bend as much. Of course, now that I said that, I'll probably, oh, see, there we go. Hopefully I don't mess this up here. But yeah, it wasn't perfect, but yeah, like I said, super springy deck. Yeah, very springy deck, but goes all over the place. But yeah, very cool. Like I said, you can bend them a lot, and apparently they're waterproof. So if you need, sorry, drop the card. So if you need a waterproof deck of cards, this is very cool. Definitely don't have any other deck of cards like this in my collection. Like I said, like look at how bendy that is. But yeah, makes for like really easy shuffles and stuff. And I assume it's probably a lot more expensive to print on plastic, and you probably can't do as much with it, although they do have like very cool visuals to it. Yeah, it's got a gray and gold look to it, but yeah, super cool. Pips and indices are actually pretty unique on this deck. But yeah, super cool with the foil there. Really like it. Obviously, we have just like a two-way, symmetrical, yeah, two-way borderless back design here. Yeah, it kind of like hits off the light in interesting ways. But yeah, super cool. It's fun to do the perfect shuffles with. Definitely a deck I'd recommend for people that like, if you're trying to like practice cardistry and don't want to ruin a deck of cards, like if you're just getting into it, like I think this is a really good deck because it makes things, like I said, like the perfect shuffle, even though I screwed that up, a lot easier. We're gonna do one more. But yeah, it makes shuffling them easier just because they're more springy, and it's like a more versatile, like easy to use deck. Okay, let's see if I can not mess this up. That sounded so amazing. But yeah, super bendy, and they go right back into place. So very cool deck cards. Like I said, I'll put above who made it. They are a little harder to handle, being that they're plastic and very slippery. But yeah, super cool. Thank you to my sister for the stack of cards. They do stick a little bit more together as well, but I mean, look at that. The best sound ever. So yeah, super cool deck of cards. So yeah, thank you to Kelsey for this deck. Yeah, definitely a very cool deck. I probably could have done a video on this one just by itself, but yeah, like I said, there's a bunch of decks I want to review, but yeah, this is super cool. I don't want anyone to think I think anything less of any of these decks, especially this one, because it's going in with multiple reviews or multiple decks in one review. But on that note, this deck, before I opened it, it was like I'll put it to the side if I remember, like a $200 deck of cards. It is 1 of 1,000 Fontaine SpongeBob holographic, and it was never released by itself. Sorry if you've heard the story before, as I mentioned this in my other video, but so there is a Fontaine deck I ordered, and it was supposed to take 6 to 8 weeks to get here. Ended up taking months and months, but he was like, I'm adding in a bonus deck, had no clue what it was going to be. So I look it up, and it's this deck of cards, which is like a $200 deck of cards that hadn't been released before. So yeah, I was super psyched about that. I'm not like a crazy SpongeBob fanatic or whatever, which, I mean, I definitely could do own video about this deck, but just like the animation and the holographic look on this is just so sick. Like the ad cards, for instance, and they do have a regular version of this deck, but yeah, just look at the detail, and I'm sure it's not coming across nearly as good on camera, but it is just so sick. And yeah, I had to wait for someone to open this deck with, but now that it's opened, even though it kind of broke my heart a little bit to open a $200 deck of cards, which now that there's more of them out there, because I'm assuming other people got this deck that got their cards late like me. But either way, it is super cool. Very unique pips and indices. As you can see, different font, different style to sort of like a sharper, I guess more like not perfect heart. Yeah, it's like a sharper edge to the indices there. But yeah, super cool. Really like this deck of cards. I'm going to get to some of the court cards here to show you guys more of the holographic look. Yeah, are one-sided court cards, obviously, with a deck like this. But yeah, super cool. And everyone is upside down, isn't it? Is that the one I just showed? Maybe there's just 3 different ones that keep getting used. But either way, just like look at the animation on that. Like, SpongeBob fan or not, this is such a sick deck of cards. Like, look at that. It looks even cooler in person. I love the silver border, just so cool. And yeah, very cool deck of cards. This one, man, like, because I got it for free, the price would be a 10 out of 10. The tuck case is at least a 9 out of 10. Back design, 10 out of 10. I'm just going through this in my head. Face cards, pips, indices, obviously a 10 out of 10. So I'm going to see how these cards feel right now, since just like quick thinking, there would be a 39 out of 40 so far. So we will give one full review. Like, look at this card. Look how sick that is. This is insane. I love holographic cards. But yeah, I was super excited about this deck of cards. And I think they released some of them in like a thing where you bought like a bunch of cards. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but it was a while ago. Also, I saw Fontaine's posting a bunch. Zach from Fontaine started posting more stuff. So I hope they do more releases this year, since they only did a couple last year. But yeah, got a lot of exciting decks coming. Obviously, like I said, the Art of Play, and the one girl, I forget her name. I'm obsessed with her. I forget what her name is, though. Can't think of it. I don't know. She does like super cool art. She's a tattoo artist as well, but they're doing the tarot deck that I went like all in on, and I think it was a Kickstarter project that should be here soon. And like I said, I still have to do the 6-9 Atlantic. Want to do the 6-9 Atlantic review. I want to review the new Frank Lloyd Wright deck. So yeah, there's a, I hope I've been in frame this whole time. So there's a bunch of decks that I want to review in the upcoming future. These cards do feel really nice. I'm just gonna see to give you guys an idea of how much easier it is with the plastic cards here. Okay, here we go. If you're seeing this, then I cut out everything up to this point because it's having a hard time. Yeah, not perfect shuffle, but yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter. Either way, super nice feeling deck of cards, even though I definitely bent them there a little bit. Another good thing why you should practice with the plastic deck of cards. Very cool. But yeah, it is a super nice deck of cards. Feels really nice. I definitely like it more for the aesthetic. Sorry for the barking in the background. Okay, yeah, that's how this deck's going. Even with that, it's just springy. I'd give it like a 7 to 8 out of 10 feel. I'll be nice and say 8 out of 10. So I would bring it to like a 47 out of 50. But yeah, bunch of cool decks. Just wanted to show you guys today, all in a one longer video. Even though I've only got like half the cards here, the other are on my floor, so I will go pick those up. But yeah, I know I've said this like 5 videos in a row, but 6-9 Atlantic should be the next deck I review. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.